We're actually Jewish people in ancient China. It's a well-known phenomenon, but there's a lot of information, especially on the Kaifeng Jews. On the Silk Road, trade was paramount. Everyone wants to trade, and since there was a large Jewish community in Persia after being kicked out of Rome and to like Jerusalem or wherever, they decided to put up a trading post in China because it's kind of the end of the Silk Road. It's important. You want to do that. And this eventually blossomed into a fairly large community, mainly consisting of like a large synagogue. They had a synagogue. They had like 12 families. It was pretty crazy. So yeah, so here's an interior of the long gone synagogue in Kaifeng, and you can see like okay, it's honestly kind of confusing, but that is what I found when I googled it. Yeah, so yeah, here's where Kaifeng is. Pretty interesting. But that's not the only way that these two like very separate people intermingle with Chinese and the Jewish people. So going further back, you can see people that are now completely assimilated, but there there were many Jewish people who left Rome after Titus's reign in 70 A.D. They simply traveled further down the Silk Road and they made it all the way to China. They were also just kind of fleeing. That's why a lot of Jews were in Europe, I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, and there are reportedly a lot of synagogues in several cities in China. According to retellings by Marco Polo and other Italian dudes, Marco Polo actually specifically noted that there's like the sheer number of them in Beijing. Like he reported synagogues and stuff. Here's like a synagogue of this is a synagogue. No, this is the Kaifeng one. All right. Yeah, but basically, the uh, Kaifeng Jews lost their only Torah in the Qing Dynasty's beginnings from a man-made flood that was used in war. And many Jewish communities still exist, but the peak of the Kaifeng Jews have passed, so they haven't been able to do as much. About a decade ago, I was researching. I found that many Kaifeng Jews went to Israel as a cultural pilgrimage. So overall, it's important to know and remember how history is really intertwined and like stuff that, in my mind at least, are very separate. Like Jewish people and Chinese people could have like mixed and like hung out back in the day. So now it's time for the thank you slide. All right, yeah, that is the fact of the week. This is not Minecraft content. That's all good.